going live.
Taking on the world together, big plans in a bigger world. Are still kids, afraid of being young forever. Young eyes watch life unfurl. Why do you sit there sighing instead of trying one more time? I've been there, I know exactly what you're thinking, but why try growing up too fast? I learned it's better living in the moment. Enjoy youth cause it doesn't last. Still you're hoping, trying, praying, crying for your destiny to come this time. You are so young and you are so free, but you're aimless, and I can't help but see that you don't know what you really need. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You've done it all from A to Z. Are you trying to find your destiny? One day you'll know who you wanna be. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Young eyes see everything you've ever wanted. Hope dies when it won't come true, but realize the possibilities are endless. In time it will be all for you. Now you're hoping, trying, praying, crying, but your destiny will come in time. You are so young and you are so free, but you're aimless, and I can't help but see that you don't know what you really need. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You've done it all from A to Z. Are you trying to find your destiny? Still you don't know who you wanna be. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? One more time, growing up too fast. Are we there yet? One day you'll know. Possibilities are one more time. Are we there yet? You are so young and you are so free, but you're aimless, and I can't help but see that you don't know what you really need. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? You've done it all from A to Z. Are you trying to find your destiny? Still you don't know who you wanna be. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yes, we are live. We're going to play the game of Broken Sword. Stand by. We're going to get the game running and make sure it's fuel. Okay. Sorry about that. I had my 3D printer wasn't printing properly, so I stopped the game. I'll stop the printer. Making sure we are screen. We are streaming the game. This is Broken Sword 1 Shadow of the Templars, the director's cut. Oh yes, we haven't played this game in ages. We have played this before, but not recently. No. Sorry, I need to think about having 2 monitors. Can't see the comments. If any, cancel. And no comments. If you want to leave me comments, you can. Okay. Let's play Broken Sword, The Shadow of the Templars, Director's Cut. I'm playing this because the person who does this amazing music died last month. Yeah, sad, very sad. They actually done Inspector Morse, so if you didn't know that. I'm just going to turn up my audio a bit. Okay, and go back, and let's start a new game.
Paris, city of love, romance and dreams. So they say. I used to say it too, but ever since that day of the murder, I've always associated my beloved Paris
With death.
with death. I was at home having a bath when my editor called.
Collard, get your ass over to the Palais Royale now. You got an interview. With Pierre Carchon. Yes, the Pierre Carchon. No photos, so leave your gear at home. He asked for you personally. Don't ask me why. Anyhow, this could be big, so if he makes a pass, don't forget. Just smile, say yes, and keep taking notes.
So charming and so variant. Pierre Carchon was a media king, a national hero, and one of the most infamous adulterers in Europe. He and his wife Imelda were just one step down from royalty. Whoa, I hate mimes, but unless you humor them, they don't go away. Here I was, the palace of the Media King and the Ice Queen. I pressed the doorbell and set in motion a chain of events which would change my life forever.
Yes? What is it?
Madame, my name is Nico Collard. I'm here to see Monsieur Carchon.
Come up, we're on the first floor.
Madame Carchon, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes, I'm sure.
The Ice Queen was certainly living up to her reputation. Will you be staying for the interview?
Mademoiselle, I know little of my husband's business affairs, and I care even less. I certainly have no intention of watching him pore over yet another pretty little journalist.
Pretty. You're too kind, madame.
The talented and very beautiful Mademoiselle Collard. Such a pleasure to meet you at last.
Monsieur Carchon, I am honored.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
Call me Pierre, please. But I do not flatter you either. I was
Right.
thinking of your father. He
Still-
was a great man.
My father, he never mentioned.
He and I were very close. And then his death. So tragic. I must... Imelda, your damned cat's in my study again. Another mean vase, I suppose. Excuse me for one moment, my dear Pierre.
You journalists are getting younger each year.
Perhaps it's the rest of the world getting older, madame. That was no cat. My God! What? Monsieur Carchon! Yes,
dead. I must call the police. You'd better stay here.
There was a man. It was the mine. Do you think he...
Well, I believe we can rule out suicide, don't you?
No wonder they called her the Ice Queen. She would have been top on my list of suspects if I hadn't seen the attacker myself. And if I hadn't come across a couple of murders just like this already. One of the most important men in Europe murdered. And here was I, Nico Collard, alone at the scene of the crime. Should I wait for the cops? Or start my own investigation? It was a no-brainer.
Okay, here we go. Move your mouse cursor around the screen to discover areas of interest, which will be included by an animated blue circle. When you pointer passes and over an object, which you can interact, it will turn to animation like when reflecting available action. Yep. Briefcase, diary. You can read what's on the screen. Gonna go back. Okay. First of all, let's search the body.
Mines and guns don't usually go together, but I had an idea that this was no ordinary mine. I'd come across this murderer before. I'd written about him. The costume killer. At least that's what I'd called him.
Costume killer. Oh.
It was one of my hair clips. My favorite, in fact. It must have fallen when I was knocked down. Some people hate searching corpses for clues. Me, I'm okay with it. Reminds me of an old boyfriend. Carchon had been shot.
No!
In his pocket, I found a ticket stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. Taking the ticket meant I tampered with the evidence. There was no going back now. Carchon had been shot.
You would gather that. Right, let's go back.
The bookcase was filled with obscure first editions. A bust of Pierre Carchon, humble servant of La France.
Glass.
Pierre Carchon again. His eyes seemed to follow me around the room. A small round piece of glass had been cut out of the pane. This was a professional job. I didn't want to cut myself and leave blood on the glass. Call me old-fashioned, but I like to keep my DNA to myself. The killer must have used a ladder to reach the window. He was long gone. Guess he folded that ladder up, popped it in his pocket and took it with him.
Okay. When you when you think you've discovered all the stuff in the room, come out.
The police could turn up at any minute. Somewhere there were clues to the murder, and I needed to find them.
Fast.
I reckoned that cloth might just turn out to be useful. Even my fingernail wouldn't fit into such a small hole. Aha! Nico, you are just so damn good at this stuff. Instead of comforting Imelda, I was ransacking her flat. Why? Because there was something going on here, and I had to get answers before the cops arrived. And hey, she'd been rude to me, so she had it coming.
Any other comments coming in? No? Okay.
Imelda had talent, but I certainly wasn't going to tell her that. It was a tube of acrylic paint. French ultramarine. Just the colour I was after for my bathroom. I'm sorry, I have to go. Someone is...
Young lady, what are you doing? Oh, this paint. It's my favourite colour.
For God's sake, keep the damn stuff.
There was no one I needed to phone. Not until I had solved this case. Excuse me, madame.
Yes?
I am so sorry for your loss, madame.
No, you're not. You're a journalist. Journalists don't feel sorry.
Not true. We shall see. How did your husband know my father?
I have no idea.
You didn't know him? Pierre Collard.
Pierre knew a lot of people I didn't know, most of them women.
Why did your husband send for me? What did he want to discuss?
I have no idea. His business was his business.
He never told you anything.
No, and frankly I preferred it that way.
Why would a mime want to kill your husband?
Pierre had plenty of enemies. Half the husbands in Paris for a start. This is quite a scoop for you. I suppose you're already inventing the headlines.
Just because I am a journalist.
Don't patronise me. You're all cut from the same cloth. Do you have any moral sense at all?
Yes, that's why I do this job.
You do it to see your name in print.
As if my editor gets the byline, I just do the work.
Well, don't expect my sympathy.
The police will be here soon, madame. Is there anybody you would like me to contact? Family, friends?
No, I have no family. Pierre and I were... He was all I had, really. Not much, was it? The dutiful wife. That was my role. He never talked, never let me in.
I know one thing, madame.
What?
If you want to find out who killed your husband, then you let me do the job, not the police.
Why? How do I know I can trust you?
Your husband invited me here today because he needed me. I think he knew somebody wanted to kill him, and he knew I could help.
I doubt it was your database he was after.
You're wrong. I was onto his killers already, I am sure of it. Please, you owe it to him.
I don't know.
All I need is a few more minutes to look around before the police come.
You really do have a moral sense, don't you? I trust so few people. And perhaps Pierre really did think that you could help. Of course it wouldn't have stopped him seducing you too. Here, take this. It's the key to the drawing room next to the library at the end of the hall. It was Pierre's room. I rarely went in there. I couldn't. I was too scared of what I might find.
Thank you. I promise you won't regret this. Imelda now looks shocked and scared. Almost human, in fact. Madame Carchon,
Please call me Imelda. We hardly need the formalities now, do we?
Would you like to see my favourite haircut?
What a ridiculous question. Of course not.
Another time, I guess. So, her husband took secret boat trips. Did she really need to see the tickets? Did Mr. Carchon say nothing to you about my father?
No. I'm sorry. He never mentioned him. Thank you. You have your own reason for taking the cloth. Please keep it.
Imelda might not have been so cool with me poking around if I'd shown her the key I'd found. The last thing she needed to talk about was paint. I needed to open the drawing room door before giving Imelda back the key. I was sure that there was more to find. I just had to keep looking.
No, really?
I thought of leaving, but was sure there was more to find.
Oh, okay. Right.
The door was locked.
No. Key.
Now we were getting somewhere. The painting showed the Carchons together, in love. As the poet said, the past is a different country. Or did I read that in a fortune cookie? There was the very faintest of clicks. Behind the picture was a safe. The safe was locked. I needed the key. In the safe was some kind of artifact. There were strange symbols on its surface. It looked like the printer's blocks I'd made at art school. If there was one thing I'd learned about symbols, they are always important. But these symbols scratched into stone were impossible to read. I needed to find a way of printing them. At least the stone was round. But what could I use for ink? And what could I print on? Sure, I was stealing, but I knew Imelda didn't know about the artifact, and Carchon was pas caring. Even the light switch looked impressive. I didn't need the lights on. It was light enough already.
If you've got any comments, just leave them in the comments below or side.
As expected, the desk was yet another priceless antique. Yawn. The blotter and in tray had clearly been placed with mathematical precision.
Alright, let's see.
No. No. The blotter was flat already. Rolling the cylinder across it would achieve nothing. I didn't need a sheet of blotting paper. Not while it was blank. The paint would have just soaked into the blotting paper, but the idea was good.
Oh, thank you.
I'd spread blue paint over the bottom of the tray. It was ruined. I was a very bad girl, but also quite a clever one.
Sassy.
I rolled the artifact in the paint until it was completely coated. No. An antique tray with paint spread all over it. Not a lot I could do with that. Not a lot. No. No. I didn't need a sheet.
This is when it, no, it...
No. It was a sheet of blotting paper in a leather holder. Its cracked surface looked ancient. Reminded me of its owner. I didn't need... There were still some traces of paint in the tray. It would never be the same again.
Right, let's look around the room.
Locked. Not surprising, really.
No, really?
It didn't work, but I guess it would have been surprising if it had.
Yeah. Oh, that's when Combined.
I wouldn't be able to print straight onto the cloth. I needed something flat to print onto.
Okay.
No.
No?
No. I wouldn't be able to print straight onto the cloth. I needed something flat to print onto. No. 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 My heart skipped a beat. It was a carved elephant. But not just any carved elephant. It had been made by my father. I knew for certain because in my apartment I had its exact twin, carved into a box he had made. So Carchon had known my father. They really must have been friends.
Yeah.
I decided to take the carved elephant. It clearly meant nothing to Imelda. I didn't need... It was a sheet of blue. There were still some traces of paint in it. No. No. The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol. There was still some not a lot, The cloth was embroidered with an unusual symbol. No.
Okay.
This wasn't the time for me to lie on the sofa doing my Marie Antoinette impression, though it is very popular at parties, especially with gay guys. Don't ask me why. The sofa was antique. For one horrible moment, I had an image of a naked Carchon wriggling around on it with a young journalist. Oh. A magnificent antique table. Imelda had talent, but I said... Did you find anything useful? This carving. Do you know anything about it? It was Pierre's. What does the statue have to do with... Please, I need to know. He was given it by a friend. Something to do with Africa. He never explained any more? No. But I think it was important to him. Always on display. Why? It was carved by my father. Oh, I see. I didn't know. Just one thing. I know this is going to sound strange, but did your husband ever mention... Did he ever talk to you about a penguin? Or a snowman? What? I don't understand. He never mentioned people dressed up as penguins. Nico, I don't know what you're talking. My dear, you should go before the police arrive. There will be many awkward questions. I am grateful that you stayed. You've been so kind. Please, call if there is anything I can do. I'd misjudged her. She had every reason to be bitter, living with a guy like Carchon. From the sound of it, no one and nothing was safe around him. Maybe I should have interrogated the cat after all. I thought of leaving.
Okay. There's something I need to find in the game. What can I find? It doesn't matter if that's guessing, really. No. Alright.
No. 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 Genius! The ruler and the pen worked just as I planned. But what did it say? It was some kind of coded message. It read, subjudice. I may not have learned a lot as a journalist, but that was a term I knew well. It means a legal case that is before the courts. Below it was a sequence of letters that made no sense. I suddenly realized there was a connection between the boat ticket and the coded message. The boat ticket was stamped Bateau de la Conciergerie. The Conciergerie on the Ile de la Cité, by the river, housed the ancient law courts. So, subjudice could in this case mean literally under the law courts, below the Conciergerie. I was pretty sure I'd found all I could here. And besides, all this opulence was making me pine for my regular life of poverty. This was a huge story. It was also one heck of a puzzle with a lot of pieces missing. But I was going to crack it. And if I could just remember the name of that fancy prize you get for being an ace journalist, I was definitely going to win it this time.
Alright, this one is issue the diary of the case.
The killer must have used...
Oh, I have to go from the normal window. Door.
Imelda, I will do everything I can to find the killer.
Thank you, my dear.
And if the police ask, don't worry.
You were never here.
Subjudice was the key. I was going to have to find a way under the Conciergerie. I decided to head straight for the quayside on the Ile de la Cité. If there was a way of getting under the Conciergerie, it would have to be from there. Carchon wasn't the type for messing about on the river. He was up to something down here. Something that got him killed. The fence wouldn't move. This fence wouldn't move either. The cross looked familiar. I'd seen it before. It was embroidered on the lace cloth I picked up at Carchon's apartment. I knew I was on the right track. I wasn't leaving yet. I had a hunch there was more to find. I tried pushing the fence, but it wouldn't move. A strange pair of locks stopped the latches from releasing the gate.
Okay, then it's the first puzzle now. You got to move the rectangular box right down, across and all that. Basically, you need to slide this around. So okay. 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 Okay.
One down, one to go.
Okay. Yeah, this one's a bit... The other one was more easier than this one. So... You can't expect everything to be easy. Okay. So no, there we go. No. Sure, I was in this document before.
Nothing like a good convent education for honing your lockpicking skills.
Wow.
For a room full of junk, that was one very sophisticated lock system. This place was definitely fishy, in more ways than one. Oops. An old shell case. I wondered what that was doing there. The brass case was smooth and perfectly round. The artifact was like an old printer's block, covered in symbols. The words Sinister and Dexter were carved on either side. Now any good convent girl like me knows the old Roman for left, right. But what did it mean here?
Oh, somebody's do that. Back.
No handle, nothing obvious. But there had to be a way to open it.
Okay, yes.
Mystery solved. Carchon's stone cylinder slotted into the hole with a satisfying click.
That's what she said.
Oh no! I had to start again.
No, really?
Oh no! I had to start again. A satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position. It felt like tumblers in a safe. Another click. Another step closer. Oh no! I had to start again. A satisfying... I must have made a mistake. The mechanism reset. Another click. Oh no! I had to start again.
Right, if you go back to your notes.
Rolling out the painteds, it read, Subjudice. Below it was a sequence of letters.
SDD.
SDSS DSS.
Gonna write that down actually.
Rolling out the painted cylinder had given me a print of a secret message. It read, Subjudice. Below it was a sequence of letters. SDSS DSS.
Okay. S
A
D
satisfying click told me I turned it to the right position.
D
Another click. Another step closer.
S S D S S.
I love the sound of locks clicking open.
There you go, that was easy enough. Okay.
Oh my god! The slab came down with a hell of a force. With nothing to hold it up, the cross dropped back down again. If I was going to get a closer look at the panel, I'd have to find a way of keeping the cross up. Lifting the cross closed the entrance door, and also opened some kind of stone panel. Ingenious. The stone cross was propped up. Now I was getting somewhere. I touched the slot. Nothing bad happened, which was good. I've always been attached to my fingers. This slot was designed for something specific. But what?
Very sharp.
A round slot precisely carved into the stonework. No way would I be able to force the door open. I removed the shell case. Ut lex vel ut next sumito. To the law or unto death, submit. I guess these people didn't believe in liberté, égalité, or fraternité. Yes, I'll admit it. I was a swot at school. I also wore lipstick and the nuns never knew. I really didn't want to pull the fence back up and risk trapping myself in this place. I wasn't.
The clues are there somewhere.
This wouldn't hold the cross up. But I was on the right track. I needed to use something sturdier. This wouldn't. I needed to use something sturdier.
Sturdier.
This wouldn't hold up. I needed to use something sturdier. The cross was firmly propped up. A round slot precisely carved into the stonework. I touched this, which was good. This slot.
There's another thing is there. Don't make me do now, please.
I removed the shell case.
Oh, come on.
Oops. Moving the skiff would only... I really... It was almost as if the fence was intended to double as a bridge. I removed the stone cylinder.
Okay.
The artifact slotted into the hole perfectly. Behind the old walls, I could hear some kind of mechanism groaning into life, but whatever had been triggered had now jammed. I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open. I was going to need something a lot stronger than a hair clip to free the door. The gap was too narrow.
No, really.
The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open. A hidden door. This was getting interesting. Shame the mechanism jammed. I was going to have to find a way to prise it open.
Oh, come on!
No. No. The gap was...
Yeah, I'm getting tired though. Oh, come on. That's gonna just reason. Let's make some. Let's see if I do that. Take the thing out, and it will.
The slab was too heavy for me to lift.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
The gap was... I needed... I removed the shell case. The cross didn't drop. A hidden door. This was getting interesting. Shame the mechanism jammed.
Yeah, babe.
A door made out of stone. They normally are. The cross didn't drop back down. Some kind of mechanism was holding it up. The gap was too thin for me to get a grip. I needed something thin enough to prise the door open.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna finish the game. I'm gonna finish now. I'm getting so tired. It's 3:53 a.m. 3:51 a.m. So hopefully it's I might come back to it again. I'm so tired. So guys, I'll speak to you later on.